All right, we're live.
Yo.
So what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming back to the Entrepreneur Hour. Today you have another familiar face, another partner of mine. Of course, Instagram craps out, but I was trying Instagram today through this other system, but it just died on me. So yeah, so basically, all right, we got everybody on. So basically, I'm gonna let Caesar start off. The way I normally did it before was we talk about how we met, but Caesar's been on the show many times. So today I'm gonna let Caesar talk about his journey to becoming the top paparazzi in the world. So talk to the people about how you became an entrepreneur in the sense of paparazzi. You know what I mean? Like, how'd you make that transition?
So again, my name is Cesar Pena. My company name is 247paps.tv. I've been doing this for about 100 years. Now, I've been doing it for about 16 years. And, you know, it really all started with, you know, not only a dream. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I used to dream about just going out there and getting celebrities. You know, I used to watch one of my favorite shows back in the day used to be Celebrity Uncensored. And one thing that I noticed is that the cameraman was having a good time. the camera people, they were having a good time. They were talking to the celebrities. The interactions were amazing, you know, and I was just like, man, like I can do that. You know, I was into videos already, you know, when I'm prior military, so I used to be in the Navy. And one thing I did in the Navy is I did a lot of videos while I was in the Navy. So,
sorry. Go ahead.
So, you know, I after watching the show for about a year, I worked at the Waldorf Astoria. So I used to see celebrities all the time. When I used to go with my girlfriend, we used to walk around Soho all the time. We used to see celebrities every single day. So everything started mixing up, like mixing together in this bag of just go try it, right? The bag was like, yo, go try it. And I was like, all right, you know, I'm going to go try it out. So when I went out there with my, you know, first thing I told my girlfriend, I want to be a paparazzi. She thought I was losing my mind. She was like, yo, you crazy? Like those guys, they get, you know, they're bad and all the same things that people think about when they think of a paparazzi. Everything was coming to that night when I was talking to my girlfriend about being a paparazzi. So I was like, you know, I have this in my heart. I feel like this is where it's at, you know, like I feel like we can do this. And she was like, if you're feeling it, let's do it. Let's try it out, right? So literally the next day, I bought a video camera. It was a small little video camera. I paid like $600 for it. I was like, let's go out. Let's do it, right? So I'm in the car, right? I'm driving down to Soho, and I was with my girlfriend, and she was like, okay, so how are we gonna do this, right? We stopped, we parked the car. I was like, listen, we see the first celebrity, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start it off. Videotaped up, I'm gonna start it off. The next one, you're gonna do it, right? And she was like, all right, let's we getting hyped now. We like, all right, let's do it.
But did you know how you were gonna make money on it? Were you just gonna?
I did not know. I did not know how I'm gonna make money. My whole mindset was just get out there and try it. Like get out there and just get a celebrity on film. Just try. I wasn't gonna even ask questions. I was just gonna say hi, right? But on film, get a celebrity. That's all I wanted to do. That was my first day. That's it. So first person I see, right? I see Gisele Bündchen, right? She's married to Tom Brady, but at the time she was going out with Leonardo DiCaprio, right? So I see her walking. I get out the car and I was like, hey, how's it going? She looked at me, bro. She took off running. Boo. She took off running, right? So I'm like,
models.
Yo, gone. I'm talking about like I was about to rob her, gone, right? Wow. So she gone. And I'm gonna jump up back in the car. My heart is racing. I'm like, and she's like, did you get it? Did you get her and stuff? And I was like, look at the video. bro, a blur. You just see a blur. You see a girl with big glasses turn her head and take off running, right? So I was like, you know, I didn't even look at it as a fail. I looked at it like completed what I wanted to complete, right? The next person, I forgot the name of the guy, right? My wife was supposed to go out, and she was like, "I'm not going out there." I was like, "Yo, like I just went out there," and she was like, "I'm not gonna do it." And we arguing in the car. We stopped by a hydrant, and we arguing like, "Yo, I ain't gonna do it." Nah, so we out. And then we going back and forth. So we end up leaving. Like we didn't even get it. We end up leaving. The next day, I started researching through magazines, and I started watching like a couple shows, like couple E shows and Entertainment Tonight. And I was like, all right, who are the main companies that sell this stuff, right? So at the time, there was a couple places called like Splash News, INF, and there was a couple news outlets that agencies that actually take your stuff and sell it. So first place we went to was Splash. I contacted them. They had a U.S. affiliate out here in the U.S. and I went to go visit them. We started on Monday. We did that. I called them on like a Wednesday, and then we met with the company on Friday. I actually went there with my wife, told them that I'm interested. I got a video camera. I want to do this. How should I send it to you? So they had like a FTP system. So what you do, you take the video and you send it to them with they gave you a byline. So it'll be like my first initial and my last initial, right? And the name of the person. And then you have to upload it through an FTP system. Meaning that you put it in an FTP and you send it to them, they'll look at it and then they can sell it, and then they'll send you an email.
You upload the file and then they go.
Yeah, and then they go, right? So I did that. I did a couple of videos and they critiqued it. They sent me, they were like, oh, this was good, but work on talking about recent things that's going on, right? So one of the biggest ones that I got the next week, I got Leonardo DiCaprio, right? You didn't have to talk to him. You just had to get him, right? Like he was money in the bag. So he was at a coffee shop and he had his bike and we spotted his bike and we seen him in a window in the coffee shop. And then I told my wife, go across the street, watch him, and then we'll be on the phone and let me know when he's coming my way. So I waited in the corner and my wife waited across the street. So we had like a plan of attack. So she saw him coming out. She videotaped a little bit. We had 2 cameras at this time. She videotaped a little bit, got him coming out. He was heading my way. So I got him. I just put the camera out like this and was watching him coming right at me, right? So I got him and he had a little fanny pack. So boom, got that video, didn't say nothing to him. And we made $500. So I'm over the moon, right? I'm like, woo, $500. Like, me and my wife, we're going crazy. So that was kind of the spark right there. The whole time I had it in my mind that I'm going to meet somebody that actually going to teach me about the actual business. About a month of just doing it, just going out every single day. I was doing this every day, getting celebrities, getting to know places, meeting people.
So Clicks is about to change his career now.
Yo, Clicks, think about this. This is 16 years ago. $500 16 years ago. That was good.
Well, Clicks, I don't know if Clicks was born 16 years ago.
But I'm just saying, right? $500 16 years ago was a lot of money. Like, it was good money, especially for one video. One video, $500. And then I didn't know about residuals. Then after that, I was getting like a $200 check. So the whole time.
He's 15 years old there. We old.
All right. 5 years ago, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that was the spark right there. And then a month later, met this veteran. He was a 30-year veteran doing this. And he taught me the actual way of not being spotted, right, by celebrities, visualizing yourself. So we call it corner to corner, right? So if you see a celebrity walking, you got to go to the opposite corner of the side. You know, if they're walking down the block, you got to go opposite where they're walking, and then you got to shoot at angles, because for some reason, people, when they walk, they don't look at the corners, the opposite corner. So he knew all this stuff. It was like little technical things. So he was showing me real technical things. And I was with him for almost 5 years learning the game. And during that time, TMZ literally was just starting. And they were looking for New York shooters. And I was like, all right, you know, I could do TMZ. I've been doing it for about a year strong now.
Oh, so you were on your own before you even worked with TMZ?
So I had a 1 year worth of just content coming in to Splash, right? So I already knew what things look like on TV, right? I already knew how to get the celebrities, where celebrities were going. So I already had this on my back, right? So when TMZ came along, my resume looked crazy. I was like, look, these are my videos, these are my things. So they were like, all right, we're gonna try you out for a month and test you. Then after the month, we'll give you the contract. So we was like, all right. So after a week, they were like, you hired. They were like, yo, you hired. Because I was getting like Madonna. I was getting like all the top crews.
So 2 questions.
Go ahead.
Clicks asked, how exactly did you make the 500? That's one question. The second question for me is, what made you go from Splash to TMZ? So first, explain the 500 first, though.
All right. So the $500. So what the agency did, right? So I sent them the video, right? The second we finished, I had to wait until I got home. It was exclusive video. So I waited until I got home. I sent Splash, that's the agency, right? I sent them the video, right? They uploaded the video. They called TMZ right away, because at the time TMZ was running nothing but Leo stories. So TMZ, they was only online. They didn't have nothing on TV or nothing.
They didn't create the TV channel yet.
Yeah, they didn't have no TV channel or nothing. So TMZ bought it online. And only for online, it was $500 because it was exclusive.
Yep. If they would have put it on the TV show, it would have been more.
Yeah. If they had a TV show at the time, I probably would have made like, off that video, I probably would have made like $1,200. But
basically it's $700 for the show and $500 for online.
For online, exactly. And then later on, a couple little blogs ran it for like $200, $250. So for the lifetime of that first video, I made like a good like $1,300 for the lifetime of the video.
Oh, so it made more money even later.
Yeah, even later. Yeah, even later, I made a few more dollars off of the video. Yeah. It was cool because you never see Leo like that, you know, on his bike coming right at you, and then he had like a little fanny pack and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That video's on the that video's on your YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
All right, so what made you go from Splash to TMZ then? Why go to a full-time job? It was like a job, right? At that point?
So what made me do that is TMZ came along and said, listen, I will pay you guys, whoever joins us, we will pay you guys $1,000 a week, right? And you get full medical benefits, right? We will give you overtime pay, right? It was so many incentives. We'll give you money for gas, right? It just started breaking down. So I took TMZ and I took working at the Waldorf, right? Because at the Waldorf, when I worked at the Waldorf as security, I was making about $25 an hour. And at the time, that was a lot of money. And for TMZ to almost literally double what I was making at the Waldorf, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. You know, I was having a great time doing what I was doing anyway, outside of the Waldorf and doing the whole paparazzi thing. I was having like the time of my life doing that. So if you're gonna pay me to have the time of my life, I'm gonna go that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made my decision easy to. It wasn't that easy because I was at the Waldorf for 4 years, and you know I had great friends there and everything like that. But you know Waldorf started being a little scary over there because you run into people. I was security, so your life is like on the line sometimes. You know, like literally because you could get some crazy people that come in there. Yeah,
especially because they're celebrities.
Yeah.
One question I have. Oh man, hold on. I'm gonna mute you. I'm getting a week. Okay, it's off. One question I have though is, if you made 500 from one shot, but they were gonna pay you 1,000 a week. You're saying because of all the other stuff, it made sense at that point to try it.
At that point, this is what happened, right? And it makes more sense not to be with TMZ now. Once I started getting, because I looked at it like college, right? I looked at it like I was on training, right? That 1 year that I was doing the freelance stuff, I made about $17,000, right? And that's pretty good.
You wasn't full time though. That's why
I wasn't full time, right? I wasn't doing it full time. I had a real job, you know what I'm saying? Like I worked at the Waldorf. So I looked at it like I was going to school. I knew I was getting jerked around, you know, because people were like, "Man, you got this great video. How much you made?" And people were like, "Wow." They made way more than that, bro. You know, and I was looking at it like, you know what, whatever. You know, I'm learning.
Wait. Just so I explain what you mean. Yeah. So if a publication is willing to pay you $500 for this clip, it's because they're going to make maybe 10 times more than that, right? Like, what do you think? 10 times, at least double. At least. Right. So that's where he was saying. So a lot of times. He was making 500 off of Splash, right? Splash would sell it for a lot more, or right?
Well, I had a 60. I had like a 60, 40 split, but I never looked at it like they sold it. I know now. It's a 60-40 split of BS.
America. Yeah.
You're probably getting like 10% of what Splash was getting.
Yeah. You know? So it makes sense. Yeah, and that's the business in general, right? You're relying on someone else to sell it for you.
Yeah.
And you have to believe, right? So at the end of the day, that's what, the future. So few questions. What influenced you to be a paparazzi? If it wasn't for and also if it wasn't for paparazzi, what would you be doing now?
I probably. So I have some really, really good friends of mine that's still working through the Waldorf. You know, even the Waldorf is closed, they're making. Wow. Yeah, they're making almost like $170,000 a year.
And it's closed.
So
wait. The Waldorf is just continuing to pay people? Oh, because they still security?
They do security for the building, right? So
they're still working. They're still working.
Oh, yeah, but they're not doing nothing compared to what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? There's no traffic. The only traffic is the people that's actually working in there. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of expensive stuff that's going on, like marble, you know what I'm saying? A lot of expensive things that they're bringing into the Waldorf that has to be secured, and the building still has to be secured 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So they're still doing their thing. It's crazy because they're about to have a pool in there too. They having a pool in there. It's gonna be nuts. The Waldorf.
So you got people watching like, I want to go work at the Waldorf. So all right, let me see what other question. Oh, so Kevin asked, how did social media change paparazzi?
So social media changed paparazzi immensely. Like it literally changed the whole dynamic of the game because now you relied on me to bring you news about a celebrity you knew nothing about, right? You didn't have Instagram. So let's say Lindsay Lohan at the time, or Britney Spears, or another big time person, Paris Hilton at the time, right? These were the main three people compared to like Kim Kardashian. Those are like kind of like the type, right? That they were famous for being famous, right? Lindsay Lohan had a little career. I mean, Britney was a singer, but they made more money not doing nothing than they did actually doing something, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it changed the game completely because now with social media, you know everything about them, every single thing about them.
Where they are,
yeah, it's no. So the money changed a lot, you know, because if I got Lindsay Lohan out there, you know, acting a fool, or out there just, you know, with another boyfriend or something like that, that we didn't have no social media, you would have never known unless I got it, right? So that transition, that secrecy right there, that was a huge change, huge change.
So that kind of brings me to the next point of the whole interview is what do you think is the next phase of paparazzi? Because social distancing now, right? Touching for like signatures and all that. Like, what do you think is gonna happen after COVID in the paparazzi game, or even right now? What's happening right now?
I mean, right now, people are still doing good, right? I think it's going to be more relationship based, making your own stories and working with the celebrities to tell stories that way. I see a couple people kind of executing that as we speak, and they're making a killing. They're making a killing right now because what's happening, he's one of the only guys in New York right now that's literally out there doing this still, and he's doing it that way. He's gaining relationships. He's telling them, you know what? Instead of just me just popping out and just jumping and shooting pictures or doing video, why don't we, you know, talk about it?
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah,
for sure.
Let's talk about it. Let's get the picture that's flattering to you, and we can sell that. So, you know, I feel like relationship based between photographers or videographers and celebrities are essential to the growth of the business.
So relationships, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Me and Caesar are working on something. We're not really, we could talk about it a little bit maybe. What do you think, right? Like right now, relationships, that you have a lot of relationships based on your history, right? What do you see right now as an innovation in this field that, you know, the way paparazzi is going, it's all about relationship, right? But even let's take it back. Caesar innovated a long time ago when he started putting his YouTube clips, his clips on YouTube, and was using them as social media in a way. But YouTube was not only a social media platform where it just played. He actually could make money off those plays. Versus now, a lot of these other social media platforms, they don't pay, right? So what do you see right now as the next combination of social media? Like, talk about actually the problem with posting things on social media if it is worth money.
So one thing that I noticed, and most people were not going to notice this, is a lot of people that know the industry are taking advantage of people that don't know the industry. Meaning, if I'm looking around, let's say Instagram and stuff like that, and I'm seeing like exclusive content that nobody else has, some people, especially if you put it on, let's say Instagram story, you saw Rihanna partying with somebody and they started kissing, right? And you have it on Instagram story, right? I know in 24 hours that story is gonna be gone, right? You're not gonna have that no more. So what I would do, right? But I never did this, but I've seen it done constantly, is take down your video, wait for the 24 hours to go by, take that video and sell it for like $10,000, right? So I've seen this over and over and over again, you know.
Ouch.
And that's sick, right? Because, you know, that person's having a good time and they got exclusive, ridiculous video that would never happen again. And now somebody else owns it and put their name on it, stating that they're the one that took that video now. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to get residuals. They're going to get a big chunk of money, right? That video probably could go for the lifetime, probably $50,000. Now you missed out on $50,000.
Just because you uploaded it to social media. So that's one thing I think most people do not understand, that once you upload something into the social media ecosystem that you've uploaded it to, you lose the right to them monetizing it. They can monetize it and you can't, right? YouTube is different though, right? Because YouTube gives you money. I don't know what makes a difference from YouTube to.
Well, YouTube, you could. The good thing about YouTube, as long as you could put a watermark on it, that's my thing, right?
That makes sense.
Right, put a watermark on it, right? Put a watermark on it. Put it on YouTube. Build a following. Build a community.
Yeah.
Once you start building a community and you keep getting exclusive stuff, exclusive content, you know, you can build your YouTube, especially if it's exclusive, you can build your YouTube up and make residual income off of the YouTube. There's some videos that had like 10,000 views, and then a month later, they'll have 150,000 views. You know?
You got videos right now. You got videos right now that are getting 50,000 views a day from like 8 years ago.
Exactly.
Right? So,
exactly.
So definitely go check out 24/7 Paps on YouTube. That's definitely a call to action there. Definitely like and subscribe this video if you're watching it. Subscribe to this channel. All right, we got another question from Not Here. Have you ever thought of quitting Paparazzi? And if so, what motivated you to continue?
So about, I want to say 2 years ago, and this is crazy, right? 2 years ago, I was making more money than I ever did in my whole years of being a paparazzi. I feel like the money was not my drive, right? I feel like me building my brand was more of my drive and more me than the actual money. So the chase and going out there and getting like some content, yeah, it was worth a lot of money, but it wasn't my character, right? It wasn't about the money no more for me. You know, I feel like I let down my brand because I was building this brand of positivity and building this brand of community for so many years. And I literally took the faucet. I literally took a year off just to make money, right?
Yeah.
And that was one of my, I don't want to say regrets, but that was one of my kind of like, okay, aha moments, right? I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what? Do you want to continue going down this path of being a paparazzi forever, or building your brand that you built for 6-7 years and continue to take it to the next level, you know? So, I mean, it was a hard decision because I had to let go a couple, you know, people that was, in my life. But, you know, now I'm the happiest I ever been now than I was, you know, a couple years ago, you know what I'm saying? And I see the future, and the future looks very bright for where I'm, you know, me and Miguel is going to take this thing.
So right now we have a bunch of our MetaBronx participants watching, and I've had many conversations with them about that. Like right now, we're heading into a different point in history after COVID. We'll see how work and jobs come back, because we're talking about possibly a lot more of a gig economy kind of world, like you were doing with the paparazzi, right? Mm-hmm. But I always told them about, you know, making money is really not that difficult, but making money and enjoying what you do, that is the thing to strive for, because there's going to be times, like you said, and I told you a very similar story. I told these guys the time where I made the most money, I was miserable too. Yep. Right? And that's very common. You hear that a lot. So you want to kind of make the most amount of money you can be, also by being happy though. So if it's going to cost you a few $1,000s to be happy, let that few $1,000s go away, you know? So it's a lesson that everybody keeps telling them, I feel like.
Yep.
So yeah, any more questions, definitely keep them coming. But so post-COVID, do you see a lot of people going back to paparazzi?
Well, you see a lot of veterans, a lot of people that's like older in the game. They're starting to dwindle away because they don't know how to change, right? I've been so into change. You know, I love to pivot, right? I love the fact that I can see something and I see that it's going to the grave and pivot to something else and it's taking off. Yep. So my best years were some of the people's worst years, you know what I'm saying? Because I took advantage of social media, right? I took advantage of a lot of this stuff, innovation.
Innovation, yep.
Innovation is everything. You know, we were the first ones, and we was gonna crack the game with the first drones, just news drones, right? So just to speak on that real quick, we're the first ones that got introduced to drones in the line of newsworthy and celebrity news. This guy came to Miguel's bubble, and he was like, you know, I got these drones, and I'm into the drone business, and he wanted to turn that into a content providing business, you know, with the drones. He's like, do you know anybody that can use that? And right away, I'm right there. He was like, yo, I want to introduce you to Caesar. He does paparazzi work, news work. Let's do this, right? Let's combine our heads and let's make this happen. So literally like a couple of days later, we get a phone call from this guy, and he's like, oh, something happened on 116th, 117th Street and Park Avenue. An explosion happened, and I'm the only one here with the drone that's going into – this dude was going into the fire with the drone and getting drone shots of the firefighters fighting the fire with the drone hovering above them. That was breaking news. It was insane, right? So he sent me the first clip. I was eating, right? It was right near my birthday. It was my birthday weekend. So I was eating at Red Lobster. So I had my ex-partner handle like all the logistics. And he was like sending it to my sales rep, the person that sells all this stuff. So the first clip that he sent, we got over 300 people that wanted the clip. It was so many people that wanted this clip that it was overwhelming her. And the offers in the beginning were 5,000, 7,000, 9,000. Like that day was about to be $100,000 day. It was about to be a $100,000 day. This guy decided that somebody talked him into giving a 30-second clip of what he had and gave him $1,000 cash. And the guy didn't know better, right?
He didn't know better.
You know, he
didn't ask. He didn't ask. He could have asked me.
Yep. He could have asked any one of us, right? He could have asked. He could have just got on the phone and been like, "Yo, they offered me $1,000 for 30-second clip. Can you think it's worth it?" I would have been like, "Yo, throw that $1,000 back in his face because we get ridiculous offers." But we already told him that we were getting offers already. Crazy, like it was getting overwhelming.
He just didn't know. He didn't know that by giving the 1,000, he gave up all the rights.
He gave up all the rights to that 30-second video, and guess what happened?
He missed out on probably like $300,000, right? $300,000 at the end of it.
It was about to be like $300,000 to $350,000, and that's the low end. After that, we was gonna take it global, right? Global, because now for him to get, he's the first one to do all this. For people to have him on your show was about to be like 10 grand, right? Or 15 grand. Yep. The company that he got the drone from would have had to give him money. Show, right? Because what we would end up doing is putting tape around the thing, around what the DJI.
Logo, yeah.
We're gonna put tape around that, and yo, you want me to show what kind of company this is? I'm gonna be your spokesperson. I'm gonna be the face of your company then. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these discussions could have been had, but he threw everything away in one day. 30-second clip. Everybody, by the end of the week, everybody had the same drone.
Yeah, yeah. He went on all the news stations, gave it away, gave all the information away. And I was working really close with him, and it was crazy to see. Sucks, but hey, we learned from that, right? So now, pretty much, Caesar and I are creating a technology way of making sure that doesn't happen to you. If you get footage or pictures that you believe are worth something, you're going to be able to give it to us. We're going to be able to make sure you get the most money globally for it. And we're working on, it's about to launch. We literally had a meeting this morning with our group at MetaBronx, our developers. We're right there. We're right there. That's the fattest L of all time, Christian says. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, Christian. It was pretty bad.
And we understating pretty bad. It was the worst I've seen. That's the worst I've seen ever. Like, I never seen nothing annihilate. Like, he annihilated his whole entire. He killed himself with that one. You know what I'm saying? Like. I mean, there has been other cases. So let's talk about the Tristan Thompson. So these are unnecessary L's, but the Tristan. So I worked on this story. I found out that Tristan was cheating on Khloe Kardashian, right? And Khloe was pregnant and everything, and it was overwhelming the amount of people saying that, yo, they saw Tristan kissing a girl. You know, one dude was like, yo, my homegirl is actually in the room with Tristan as we speak at the Four Seasons. So I'm like, yeah, right. You know, he was like, hold on, send a picture of Tristan sleeping in the bed right next to her, right? So we couldn't use none of that because, you know, it's invasion of privacy. So, and I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
All it did is give me a spark to work that story, right? So what I did, for about 4 or 5 months when Tristan came to New York and stuff like that, I followed Tristan around, made sure, you know, I knew where he was going and everything like that. And we got one of the biggest shots of him walking into the hotel holding hands with a girl, right? Not Khloe Kardashian, right? So it was going to be huge. We was going to make like a good, my first figure was about 70,000 the first time and probably 200,000 for the lifetime of that video and picture, right? That was my whole thing, right? Because no one had this, right? No one had it. So we went through our own system doing what we do, and the people that wanted it, right, they were like 50,000 and stuff. They were like, okay, you know, let me hold this for about a day. We usually take about 12 hours for the max for somebody to hold the information and then put out the story.
Sure.
So, you know, my sales rep was like, yo, something fishy is going on. I don't know what it is yet. So we gave them less than the 12 hours because they was in contact.
So they were holding out. Oh, I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So because they heard from the Daily Mail that they had other video of him actually kissing that same girl, right? So this girl that was in the club that same day that I got that video, I didn't know this either, but this girl took video of Tristan kissing the girl, Instagram story. So the people were waiting for the Instagram story to finish
and
so they could claim that video so they can sell it to the same company we were selling it to. So once that was over with, all of a sudden we saw that video up, right? Super exclusive, Tristan cheating on her, and they kissing, and they got the kiss shot, right? So we like, what just happened? Like, we was like, oh my God. So we had to kind of, instead of being the first one to the table, and we were the first, but these people were waiting for that 24 hours, we had to kind of ride the coattails of this video because we had the end result of that video, right? They had the kiss shot real quick. They kissed for like 5 seconds. And then
you had the rest of the story, basically.
We had the rest of the story. So we had to kind of piggyback off it. We made good amount of money. I can't say how much we made, but we made a good amount of money, but nothing compared to what I thought we was going to make. But going back, that person that did that video, if they had the just
if they gave it to you, basically.
If they gave it to me, right, I would have made more than the 100,000, right? I would have made at least 250,000 starting. We would have just started with the 250, right? And then made it up to we probably would have made like a $500,000 because we would have had the only videos and pictures of Tristan cheating on Chloe, and
ouch.
Yeah. So that was a big hit for, it was a hit for me, but we still made our money. But the person that did that video, if they really knew behind the scenes how much that person that just literally went on Instagram, took the video, held it, and put it up, that person that did that swap made like $17,000 to $20,000 just to do that.
After seeing this multiple times happen, me and Caesar were like, all right, how do we make it so everybody knows that this is happening, and instead they work with us to make sure we make the most money globally? Because that's another big problem in this industry.
Yeah.
You can make money in America, but you don't know what's making money in the rest of the world. But through these technologies now that we can make sure we know what's going on all around the world. So me and Caesar are putting a bow on that gift. It's coming soon to an app store near you.
Exactly.
So basically, any other questions from anyone in the audience about anything he just said? I know Clicks is going crazy about the money. Clicks is like, wait. In the beginning, when you said 30 seconds for 1K, he said, wait, they made 1K for 30 seconds of video. I'm good with that. then you said 50K. He said, wait, 50K, Jesus. So these numbers, they get crazy because if you think about the industry, right? These news organizations, they know they're going to make a lot more on advertising showing this content.
Yep.
It's business.
Yep.
I spend this much knowing I'm going to make this much, right? So it's all revolves around understanding that you're going to make enough money off this content to make it more than worth it. So
I've seen people pay $200,000 just to own the content, right? So if somebody comes,
nobody else can use it.
Nobody else could use it. I've seen people pay $200,000 for something that's like 10 seconds, and they be like, "Yo, I want to own that content,
buy it out, basically,
and buy." Yeah, you get a bunch of buyouts, but yeah, I mean that's the world. I lived in for 15 years. And it's about to get even crazier now. So
Click says, not gonna lie, I'm gonna change careers. That's it. He's in high school, so you're gonna have to finish high school first. But
this is what we're doing, right? This is what we're doing. Just opening people's mind to it could be a side gig at first, but it's been the times that I went on vacation, right? And I got 2 people on vacation on some like, oh, that's so-and-so. And then I did video and I send it and they paid for my vacation. You know what I'm saying?
So that's another thing. We talked about this, right? That's part of why we're creating this idea, because it happened with us, right? Like, I mean, we went for the reason. Me and Caesar went to LA to try to make money on Paparazzi. One group of shots and video pay for the entire trip. Yep. So you could be somewhere, see something, pull out your phone, and cover the cost of your whole entire thing.
Yep.
Just as easy as that. But most people don't know that that's an option.
Yep.
So any more questions, especially from the MetaBronx team? We need some questions from the MetaBronx marketing team. Because also what we're doing is they're going to edit our footage, Gary Vee style. They're going to make us a good edit. Nice. So what questions you got? Anything for Caesar? While you guys think of your questions, because you're taking too long. What about YouTube? What's the next step with you on YouTube? What are you thinking about for that?
So for me is deciding where I'm gonna go with the brand and what people want to see now, right? So because I was the guy that was getting you Rihanna, Justin Bieber, anybody that you love, I wanted to bring a realness to them that nobody else was doing. Justin Bieber, right? He looked like the media made him look like a kind of a dick. And then I made sure people knew that he was a dope dude by him talking to me, one, right? But the next thing he was taking his time, signing autographs, taking pictures with fans. So I was bringing that to people around the world in a large scale because I was getting them almost every single day. Then I'll get Rihanna. Then I'll get One Direction.
And sometimes those clips didn't even sell for you, but they boosted your YouTube.
They boosted the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be another route and another revenue stream.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I've been saying, me and Caesar are partners. What we've been looking at is popularity on social media is not necessarily connected to popularity in news.
Nope.
Right? You can make a lot more money having a clip on YouTube that millions of people care about, but somehow the news doesn't care about.
Yep.
Right? So we are working that behind the scenes. So that's another thing. And we're gonna invite the people that create and give us that content to make money with us there too.
Exactly.
So we'll be having an announcement pretty soon. I can't wait.
And at the same time, though, our YouTube is going to become another revenue stream on the app, right? Like if you do see like somebody that's not newsworthy, it's not going to go to waste, right? We're going to put it up on the YouTube and our platform that has millions of people watching, and you could get $50 off. Right? You can get $100 off something that nobody else wanted, but at least you get some kind of money, right? It can pay for Metro cards, something. Something better than nothing, right?
So basically, all right, we're getting some questions in. How much money can a paparazzi make? So
it's up to you.
It's very variable, right? You can go out every day, or you go out one time a month, and that's gonna change how much you make. And that's why I call it entrepreneurship, right? It's about you. You gotta put yourself out there to make more money. If you don't, you're not gonna make.
Effort is everything.
So next question. Overall, you're saying overall. So like, if you're out there every day, how much can you make? Like, say, if you're out there every day finding good stories, how much is of content sold do you think you can make? Every day, 5 days a week. 5 days a week.
So let's say you go out there 5 days a week and you get about like 5 celebrities a day, right? You're gonna be on your way to making probably like about $150,000 to $200,000 a year, right? But you got to be consistent, right? You got to learn how to pivot too, right? If you get a celebrity that's not making you no money, like let's say you get the same celebrity every single day for 5 days. First couple of times, it'll probably sell for $150,000, $200. Then after that, people probably not going to want to buy that no more, right? So your pivoting is going to be essential for your growth in this business. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, let me do, let's say Sarah Jessica Parker, right? She's a normal girl. I know you let's say Cardi B, right? Cardi B, right? Cardi B lives uptown, right? You see Cardi B going to the same bodega every single day. So you get Cardi B on Monday. That joint gonna sell for $300, $600, probably $900, right? You want to take a break from that and get Cardi B, let's say next Tuesday, or if you
not too many days back to back, basically.
Don't do back to back days in the same celebrity because it's not you watering down that celebrity, the stuff you just got.
Not newsworthy if it's too much, right?
Yeah, and try even if you space it out. Let's say you know the celebrity, try to space it out like Monday, and let's say try it out Monday and Thursday, right? You get a Monday and you get a Thursday. Then the next time you get it like a Wednesday, once that next week. And then you do it twice again. You know what I'm saying? If you space it out like that, you make consistent money. You make some really good money in this business.
All right. So next question: what's the most you have made for a clip or photo? Is that something? Oh, you have a podcast actually.
Yeah.
Love the podcast.
So my podcast is the Beyond Celebrity Show. So I talk about all the most I ever made, the best clip. But for this show, I'm gonna tell you the biggest clip I ever got. But I can't tell you the amount of money I made. But it was 6 figures, right? So it was Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Solange, Beyonce's sister, coming off the elevator off the Met Gala, and Solange just slapped Jay-Z on the way down from the after party of the Met Gala. So, unbeknownst to us, we did not know that this happened, right? We just did our thing, right? The whole time afterwards, I was complaining because Jay-Z was holding his face like this throughout the pictures and the video. And I was like, yo, why Jay-Z covered his face? Like, he never shy. He was looking like he's shy. So Jay-Z got in one car, and then Beyonce and Solange got in separate cars. So I got the video and everything like that, right? I didn't know at the time that it was going to be my biggest shot ever. So 3 days later, I get a phone call from my sales rep, and the sales rep was like, yo, Caesar, did you guys get Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Solange coming off the elevator? And I was like, yeah, we probably one of the only ones that got it, because there was a bunch of paparazzis there, but it was in the side of the car, and I got it straight on. We got it straight on.
Video and pictures, right?
Huh?
Video and pictures.
We got video and pictures. And the girl was like, we're getting nothing but phone calls for this. For about 2 months, they were selling every single day that video and picture. It was worldwide. It was worldwide. And we made a lot of money. Even to this day, we still get residual income for that clip.
Yep, that was a good one. So next question. Kevin asked, is it better to be making a consistent salary from someone like TMZ or freelance with experience?
Freelance with experience. TMZ has a ceiling, right? Even with TMZ, I was making more than $1,000 a week because I knew a system for them, right? So that $1,000 a week turned into $2,200 a week. You know what I'm saying? Like this fast because I took advantage of the overtime, right? I was overtime all the day long because I was out there anyway. So I was like overtime, right? I was doing things like if you get let's say Madonna's at a gym, right? And they were like, all right, we'll give you the max to give a tip, like tip 150 max. I was maxing out all the time. So they give you a max of $250 a day to get like footage. So I was maxing out, and those were my boys. Like the people that was giving me the tip, those are my boys because we share with information, right? They didn't never want money from me. All they wanted is the information for another celebrity, right? So we had this crazy system, and I was raking in all the money. So, we were doing our thing, but as a freelancer, you have no ceiling, right? It's as much as you want to work, and you don't want somebody to keep like, yo, you did this wrong, and I'm not using your clip, or you get 100 clips, and you
make the same amount of money, right?
Amount of money, you know what I'm saying? And I became a superstar for TMZ because I was getting all the best clips, but it wasn't resonating on my pay. You know what I'm saying?
So this kind of goes back to what I was telling all of you that worked with me this summer in MetaBronx, right? Like I became an entrepreneur because I didn't want to limit on what I could do and make, right? Like it keeps coming back, right? At the end of the day, a job it depends on the job, right? Certain jobs you can make more if you do more. Certain jobs, it's really not in the cards to make as much as you want, right? So to people like me and Caesar, we rather have a control of our own destiny. So we're gonna end it there. Any final words for especially the MetaBronx team watching or anybody watching about the future of Paparazzi and your app and our app? Anything that you want to tell people?
I feel like once the app is ready to go, it's gonna be such a game changer. With the community, change careers. It's gonna motivate you. Even with the app, it's gonna have levels to the app that you could be a novelist, right? Or you could be a professional on the app. So it's gonna be levels to the app that you can strive for, and we're there every step of the way to take you to whatever goals you could go set with us. And if you want to be a novelist, that's fine. You can make $150, $200. You might get that one hit for $10,000, right? And be like, I'm done. I'm good. So we want to entertain anybody that's out there that just wants to make any extra money, but at the same time, get paid, for content that you provide. Not just give it up for free. So
not even knowing you're giving it up for free, pretty much. That's
exactly.
So good stuff. Thank you for coming through, Caesar.
Anytime.
Looking forward to announcing the app. Hopefully before. All right. Clicks. Last question. Clicks. Go ahead. Go. Hurry up. I'm trying to put you on lunchtime.
It's all good.
No.
They're good. They're in it. They're in it now.
Can being a paparazzi be a part-time job?
100%. 100%. I was working at the Waldorf full time, and I was doing the paparazzi. Again, I made like $17,000 being a paparazzi, and then I made my full-time pay being a security guard at the Waldorf. The only time that kind of crossed paths is when TMZ is the one that asked me, you can't work at the Waldorf and be in TMZ at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. Because TMZ required your full
40 hours minimum. Yeah. So if you are doing both, it's not good.
That's not good. They wanted you to pay attention to what you're doing, and put your all into it. So I had to make that decision.
To answer your question, Clicks, yes. That's exactly what we mean when we talk about entrepreneurship. You get to make that choice. You could be a designer, editor, and a paparazzi if you want.
Yep.
Versus you look what he said. TMZ said, no, you could only do our job.
Yep.
If you're going to be our employee, you only could do our job. I really think that world is going to change after COVID. I really believe it's going to become more of a gig economy. So let's see what happens. Good stuff, guys. Thanks for everybody who came through. And we'll be back here tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Thank you, Caesar.
Anytime.
All right. Peace.